You see this in your head all the time. This, and here's what it looks like, by the way. It's this. It's fears. What if I make that phone call and oh, what if they reject me? What if something bad happens? I know another reason why is we make excuses. You know, there's just so many other things I could be doing right now. I'm just so busy, which really leads to this issue, which I know we've been guilty of, procrastination. I can make those phone calls later. How often do you find yourself saying, I can make those phone calls later, I can do it later, or worse, the big one, is you just avoid it. You just flat out, you look at the phone, you know it's there. You know there's prospects to call. You complain that there's no inventory, and yet you do nothing about it. You just keep avoiding doing the things you know that ultimately give you the power. So I thought what I would do today is I would try and summarize 90,000 phone calls the first 3 years of my career, 2 headsets on, banging the phones, making it, for 8 hours a day, having a ton of fun getting over all of this so I can be super effective and one day be standing in front of you on the Tom Ferry Show. Want to know how? There's 2 things. The first is all in your preparation. So if you want to become unstoppable, and I'm sure you're looking at this, no, your eyes aren't blurry, it's just that I started writing on it twice. It's about unstoppable preparation. What I know is this, right? The first thing is you got to create an appointment setting shrine. Now, if you've ever seen any of my old videos, I used to talk about this all the time. I'd say to you, if you want to make prospecting, setting appointments, making your calls, if you want to make it something significant, super impactful, emotional for you, then you have to start building stuff around you that make it significant. So the first thing I did is I went to like Staples and I got one of those display boards, and you know what I did? I would open up the display board, and on the inside there'd be like all the scripts and dialogues I was going to use that day. In the middle would be all of my goals, the purpose, the reason I was making these phone calls, who I was fighting for, what I was going after, my why. And then over here, you know what I had? A mirror to remind me to smile. I know that's old school, but you got to get this. I would prepare myself in a way that when it was time for me to make my phone calls, it was almost like a ceremony. Like I would come in, I'd light the candle, and I'd, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Appointmenting, and I would open up the shrine and I'd start making my calls. And as simple as it sounds, remember, it's not just the opening, it's also, I've completed this task, I've done it, now I can blow out the candle, close the shrine, and go on with my day. So the first thing is consider creating the environment right for you to make calls. Number 2, you got to have a headset, right? For no other reason that your hands can be free, whether it's to like move your body in a powerful way, take notes, book an appointment, do all the things you need to do, but not be sitting like this. That's just bad, right? Number 3, this is the big one. You always have to have more people ready to call than you have time for making phone calls. See, thinking is what stops you. The moment you start saying, should I call, or who should I call, or gosh darn it, maybe I need to get into the computer and organize this list, the moment you do that, you're no longer making phone calls. That's avoidance behavior personified. It's also an excuse. So instead, I say, look, 1/3 of my business comes from my database, so I'm going to print out all of the C's today. Everyone with the last name C, and I'm going to call every person there. Then I'm calling these old expireds. Then I'm following up on all my old Zillow leads, or whoever it is, but I have way more leads to call every day than I have time. So again, I'm totally prepared and I don't have to think. I just dial the phone. Number 4 is you want to have appointment times to fill. So imagine I open up my calendar and I say, okay, I've got 90 minutes now to make phone calls, to book some appointments. So what appointments do I want to fill? Well, gosh, Tuesday's looking light, Friday is looking open, Saturday morning is wide open, and I literally in my mind say, I'm going to fill those 3 times right now. So what happens is, yeah, it's a preparation thing. I know where I can book appointments, etc., but it also focuses my mind on filling those slots. And when you do that, you start filling those slots. And then the last thing I wrote down is make sure you've got your scripts in front of you. Make sure you've got your objection handlers in front of you. It's funny, like for me, because I had so many different presentations, so many different scripts, so many different people I was talking to, I kept all of them in front of me. And I know that sounds simple and obvious, but even though I was doing it 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours a day, sometimes I forgot what to say, and sometimes I got stumped by the easiest objection. Hey, I've got a friend in the business, right? And you know, if you get stumped in that moment, you don't know what to say, you're not bringing value, you don't get the appointment. So those are the first 5 things. If you want to become unstoppable over the phone, you got to do the prep work and have it all done in advance so you can just turn it on and make your calls.